Look at me with fancy pants chuffing intro. Look at me smiling. I can't believe it's like I'm going to try something tonight. Good evening, everybody. I hope that you're well. I've got 3 guests joining me tonight. 2 local. I say local. One's about 100 mile away. One's about 300 mile away, and other one's quite the way away. I'm not sure on your mileage. We're going to have a bit of a laugh about it tonight because I did put a post on. I put a post on Sesco Models Live the other day. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, by the way, to absolutely everybody. And we asked the question, myself, James, and Paul, about what makes you a seasoned member. What makes you a seasoned pro sort of builder? So we have got some things that's written down, and it is all about having a laugh. We've no club to talk about today because we don't meet. Our first meeting is on, in fact, I think it's a week today. And obviously, we can't wait to get back. So we're going to have a little look at that. And it's definitely audience participation because I'm sure that there are some things on here that we want you to comment on and say, yeah, done that, guilty, and tell me what it's all about and where you've done it and how you've done it and what happened, etc., etc. And we'll get them flashed across the screen as we're chatting to everybody as per. But if you can think of any more, feel free to comment, okay, and we'll have them on as well. First guest this evening is our James. Good evening, James.
Good evening, Gaffer.
Thank you very much, sir. And our second guest this evening, because we're still waiting for Paul, is actually Aid. Good evening, Aid.
Good evening, one and all. I hope you're all well.
We are, mate. I'll tell you what, look at this. Can you see that?
Bit chilly.
Chilly is not the chuffing word.
Yeah,
I'm sat in my garage. I know, I'll buy a gas bottle. I'm sat in my garage. It's middle of winter. I've got T-shirts, and I actually usually put, in fact, I usually put my collar up just to keep the back of my neck warm. And then when it drops, when it usually gets to about 10 p.m, then I usually put my hood up as well when I'm talking to James and Paul on the night time. I have still got my gas bottle. It is still over there. But I will not pay £50, £55 for the bottle of gas when I can get laid up, right? Because I'm saving myself some money there. I'm a tight bastard. I'm a tight.
You'd rather be a hooded hooligan then?
I'd rather. Well, I wouldn't. Well, yeah, I do. I think even James. I came in other night, Aid, and even James went, "What you got on? This is what you're on about." He went, "You ain't got a hoodie on." I know. Yeah. I've actually got my work hoodie on because it was the first thing I pulled out of my drawer this morning. I couldn't be arsed.
He's down with the kids, isn't he? Down with the
kids. I'm on holiday and I literally can't be arsed. I literally can't be. I just throw anything on. So a quick catch up before Paul comes on because I'm sure he won't be long. James, let's start with you. What have you been up to? And I can see you there in your T-shirt. Is it nice and warm in there?
It's lovely. I'm just glad that you can't see below that picture because I'm in my pants.
Well,
join the club, James.
What have you been up to, my mate? What have you been up
to? Not a lot, really. I've been trying to carry on. Seeing as I've got heat in here, I've got a new light as well, which I bought at Telford like 2 years ago. And yes, it makes a difference. It really does make a difference. So I've started the Phantom again. So I've sort of like been shoehorned into that one by you.
Yes.
That's all you say is get on with the Phantom. So yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. So evening, Rob. Dave Taylor's been on as well and said evening. We had a Merry Christmas. Yes, we did, Dave.
Yes, we did.
It's been brilliant. Yeah.
Evening, Dave. Evening, Rob.
I must admit, I had a little nap this afternoon. And I thought, when I go on live stream tonight, I will absolutely bet that there's people come on and say, I hope you've had a nice Christmas. And I literally just started thinking, well, what is Christmas? Because at the end of the day, as a grown-up, even though I've got 2 kids, One's 19, one's 13. And have I had a good Christmas? Well, dinner was sound. Christmas morning was cool because obviously you get the kids to open the presents up, but that's literally just about it, isn't it? Is that Christmas wrapped up in a nutshell? Or am I missing? No, you're missing. You haven't seen your family, you haven't seen your friends, you haven't been to the pub yet. Because I haven't done none of that.
I don't do any of that anyway. So.
I'm a mardy old bastard, me. Adi, what you been up to?
Well, just chilling, basically. It's Christmas is a bit different here in Sweden because they celebrate
Really?
they celebrate on the 24th.
Oh?
Yeah, they celebrate on Christmas Eve. So
Actually, explain what on earth? What do you mean?
Well, they celebrate their Christmas Day is on the 24th. They celebrate. It's called Julafton.
Right.
And it just means they have a massive. They eat so much food. It's absolutely outrageous. I mean, it's just they have this thing called a julbord, which is you've heard of a smörgåsbord?
Yeah.
Where you've got all the different like cold and warm dishes from like the Swedish thing or the Scandinavian thing. They do that, but just for Christmas. And it's I don't do it because my kids I'm split up with their mum, and they celebrate with her on Christmas, their Christmas Eve, and then they all come to me or I go to them on Christmas Day, so it works out perfect.
All right, okay.
They don't have turkey. They don't even know what turkey. They can't even spell turkey. So
what?
No, but I'm not that fussed. I was never over a turkey anyway. So, but my youngest lad Marcus, he hunts. So we had venison.
Oh.
And it was absolutely bloody lovely. It was.
Mark, we've had a hello from a Go For It painting, and he's in Hungary.
Happy days. From Hungary, bloody hell.
From Hungary, yeah. Must be
venison,
talking about all that food.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. My dad asked me what we were having, and obviously I said turkey. And my dad's a bit of a hunter as well. Not obviously as much as the Swedish. And brought me two lovely pieces of venison up, and yes, I says I can't afford that, Dad. It's too dear. Anyway,
oh dear, dear, fuck me.
You're going to be saying the one. What do you call a deer?
I'm really sorry. I'm really,
no idea.
Really sorry.
No idea.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Greetings from Hungary and hello, Go For It painting. Listen, let me just reiterate that Sesco Models Live is all about the people who follow me, follow the club, and because the club's a closed club, the members decided last year we just want it for the bums on seats people, and it got me scratching my head, and I thought, do you know what? We do need a separate Sesco Models page for the guys that can't put a bum on a seat, which is why Sesco Models Live was made. And I did post a couple of months since now saying, you know, look, at the end of the day, if you want to come on, like Adi's come on tonight, I'm just trying to scroll down and find it. If you want to come on and co-host, there it is, co-host with myself and James and Paul, like Adi's done, you certainly can do. All you need to do is watch out for the post that I put on a little bit closer to the day, like I did today. I'm going to scroll back up, and anybody, I'm going to open that out. Anybody, there it is. So, myself on the stream Saturday night 8 p.m. and want to invite a distance member to join us live on YouTube. All you need to be a guest on the stream is have a smartphone or a computer, an iPad, something like that. Highly recommended is Google Chrome, and that's because StreamYard prefers Google Chrome. It sort of it marries together quite nicely. A quiet place where you won't be interrupted, a sense of humour because we constantly take the piss, and to be able to chat and take part, i.e. not be a shy individual. That were actually an amended sentence because my original sentence that I typed there was not be a shrinking violet. But then I thought there's going to be people, maybe all over the world, that don't know what a shrinking violet is. Okay, and me, James and Paul were chatting last night, and we were chatting about, and we had Mark Bridge on as well and Davey House. And we're chatting about what makes a modeler a seasoned modeler. Okay, Dave, what's Dave saying there? Wow, don't give up the day job.
Yeah, because of that silly joke of yours.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I do apologise. And Pete says good evening all. So we were having a bit of a laugh and a giggle about what makes a seasoned pro builder, because we wanted to take it to the funny side instead of saying, oh well, you've got to know your PSIs and you've got to know your thinning ratios and all that shit. That's not being a seasoned and pro builder. I'll tell you what being a seasoned and pro builder is, and again, add your comments on, because I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna put it onto there like that. And hopefully you might be able to see, starting where my mouse is there, I qualify as a season builder because I've done some of the following. So we started it off, James, didn't we, with not to put a paint over.
Not the paint over. Yeah.
Guilty. More than once. James, you done it?
Yeah, more than once. Yeah, I have more than once. Yeah.
Lady?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
definitely.
Yes. So
many times.
So down at Sesco, what we said from that was, and it was me that did it, we said we're going to say, and this is what I teach everybody when, because obviously in the new year, I've got a couple of guys who I'm going to coach on how to airbrush. And there's a rule on airbrushing, and the rule is called Rule 1. James, what's Rule 1?
Lid on.
Yeah, lid on. Because do you know what, Aid? I'm sure, Aid and James, I'm sure that you didn't have your paint and you went, I'm going to do that. I'm sure what did you do? Catch it with a paintbrush or your elbow or a sprue?
Oh, all of the above, mate. All of the above. It's
you're reaching over for something and you knock the bloody thing. Well, you know yourself. I've done the extra thin over the cutting mat. Mine's melted.
Been there, done that, as they say.
Yeah. With a load of plastic on it as well. That was the best thing.
It took me about 3 or 4 years before somebody came up with 3D printing these little holders for it. And I thought to myself, well, why haven't I had one of them for the last 20 years?
Yeah, that's right.
I must admit, just thinking back now, because I've just had a look here, and actually I've missed one out. Why are my hands so dirty? I have actually missed one out there, and I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's definitely happened to me. So I've said not to pot a paint over, and the next one down is not to pot a glue over. Have you done that?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Definitely.
Many times.
What are we like? But the third one that I forgot to mention, and it's only happened to me once, I was decaling, which means I had what solution art on my bench.
Microsol.
Yeah. And
Microsol.
it went
everywhere.
Because and I watched a Phil Flory video this afternoon on the Vulcan, which I'm currently building. And even Phil, and he's obviously a seasoned builder, isn't he? Even Phil, he was putting some glazed windows into the side of his Vulcan using the micro crystal clear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But even when he brought it into shot, his paintbrush was sticking out of it. Now, mine weren't crystal clear. Mine were micro set, which is the blue one. And you know, we sit at his benches and we leave his paintbrushes in so that we don't mix them up. And I must have caught it with my elbow, but it went over. And this were on a Phantom kit as well, actually. It went over all over the decal sheet and completely obliterated the lot.
Yeah. And again.
Absolutely.
I haven't done that. But
James, are you keeping an eye on Commentos?
yeah,
Commentos?
we've got Pete Courtier is, I hope I pronounced that properly, but yeah, shook a jar of paint with a loose lid.
Oh,
done that.
Yeah, no, I haven't done that yet.
No, I haven't done that. Fucking
Many
what
moons
sort
ago,
of,
but
I go fucking everywhere in here.
yeah, Pete, tell me what sort of paint it was, because if it was MRP and you're right-handed, that's going all the way over back here.
Yeah, that
Jesus
is.
Christ.
and that's taking the wallpaper off the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's nasty, that. But out of the three, so if you've knocked a pot of paint over or a pot of glue or shook a bottle of paint, I didn't even think of that one, or knocked a bottle of Microsoft, any liquid, if you've knocked any liquid over, consider yourself part of.
I have got one which I did about 3 or 4 years ago. I was airbrushing and I just put the final lacquered coat onto a finished project and caught a bottle of Mr. Surfacer extra thinners.
Oh.
You know what happened there? That it went in the bin.
Oh.
It absolutely. I caught it, and I just about caught the bottle with my hand, but the liquid inside the bottle was still moving. Yeah. And I reckon if I'd have not caught it with my hand, I might have got away with it. But it did. It went all over half the fuselage and most of the wing. And I just looked at it and almost started to cry. And I thought, no, that's going in the bin. I ain't never going to risk it.
No, that's right. Best for it then. Dave Taylor says he's melting a cutting mat, knocking over glue. That's extra.
Yeah, I've done that. that.
Yeah, we've all done that, I think. Alclad aluminium covered my ear and wall floor behind me.
I'm going to have to show that.
Covered my ear.
Pete Courtier.
Covered me ear.
That's excellent.
That's brilliant.
Aluminium. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I wish I'm a bit slow on uptake here. I should have some medals to give out, shouldn't I? Should have some medals to give out to say you are indoctrined into the Pro Builder Hall of Fame. But is that one? Number 2, right? Number 3. I've on my list. I couldn't be arsed typing them all out last night. Now then, Aid, I know that you use Photo Etch, don't you?
A little bit, but I'm not a massive fan. But I will build.
Have you ever super glued any to your finger?
Yeah, quite a few times.
Yeah,
I can tell you something that I lost. You know, when you're doing Photo Etch, you're cutting it off the fret.
Yeah.
And quite often you hear the magical ping, and it flies off somewhere. And you think, well, I ain't never gonna find that again.
I think that's going to come up in one of these. Pete's just said now he's lost the mixing ball bearing as well, which will probably turn up in the Carpet Monster, which is coming up, I think.
This one, I lost a piece of. I lost quite a substantial piece of. I think it was one of the ribs for the internal workings on the flaps on an aircraft. I can't remember what aircraft it was, but anyway, I couldn't find it, and I had to sort of like scratch build one out of a plastic card.
Right, we're going to come back to that
one. I'm never going to find that again. 2 days later, I found it in my bed.
Okay, we've covered that. Well, we're going to get to that one. Have you ever? And I know James has, and I know Paul has. That's coming on. Have you ever bought a kit and then sold it for less?
Yeah.
Aid?
No, because I've never actually sold a kit that I've bought.
No way.
Never. I've probably got about around 100 kits in my stash, just over maybe. But I've always been I don't know. If I buy something, I'm going to build it. End of story.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Not wrong with that.
But you come to a point when I know myself, Mark, and Paul, who, like Mark said, will be on later. We go on about stashes, and me and Paul's come to an arrangement, and we've done a swapsy. But I think Mark wants one of my kits, so he's having that for a little bit considerably less than what it's worth now. But yeah, we've sort of come to a deal with that. But yeah, I think
I've never really understood. I mean, I've seen people online, and you know probably who I'm talking about, but there's people online that have got hundreds upon hundreds of kits in their stashes, but they very rarely build anything.
Yeah, I know.
And I can't get my head around that.
I can't get my head around that.
All right, fair enough, they're collectors, but no, I just can't. The enjoyment of building is what it's all about.
I've got a few in mind, but yeah,
I have. I mean, I've got loads of kits that are worth quite a bit of money because I've sort of like had them for so long and never sold them. But I've always thought to myself, well, I'm going to build that one day.
Cool. Okay, moving on. Am I guilty of this one? Yes, I am. I've got to think back to when I very first started. I put decals on upside down. You done it?
Oh yes.
No.
James.
No, I haven't done that.
I
haven't. I got my fingers crossed.
The only decals I've ever put one upside down are the markings on US aircraft. I forgot to put the star point upwards, and that really pisses me off.
Upwards,
me off when I do that.
Yeah, I've done it on a wing. A fair few years ago, but yeah, I've put it on sort of like upside down.
For the guys who are watching, I've got a little score sheet here. Rob, you scored a point for knocking over the extra thin. Pete, you scored a point for the loose lid. Dave, I'm going to put Dave down here, right, because we need to have a winner. Dave's got a point for melting the cutting mat. And that's all we're up to at the minute. So you've all got a point apiece. You don't need to tell Big Porcupines. Hey, let's keep them genuine, but I need to know if you've done any of these. Decals on upside down. I need your answers on that one. I did it, and obviously it's 99% of the time, lads. It's an American Star and Bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we'd all agree that it catches out the complete novice builder. Like when you very first started, you might have built a Spitfire. That's obviously roundels. You might have built a bit of this and a bit of that, and then before you know it, you're building something that's got a star and a bar on it. You're not paying attention at that point in your modelling career, and upside down on it goes. And I've definitely done that. Okay, so I'm going to scrub that one out, and we've had no more answers on that one, so we're all at a point apiece. Right, this is one of my favourites, this one. Did I write it down here? Right, so Paul said tweezer twang. So you fed the carpet monster, you've cut something off, it's gone sping, but when you got down on your hands and knees, you found something that you lost 6 months since.
Yeah.
Have you done that?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't. No, I've lost it to the carpet monster, but I found it. I've never sort of like found something that I've lost 6 months ago, unlike yourself, which I know you have.
I have.
Are any of you guys guilty of searching through the Hoover bag for something?
I haven't gone that far.
Nope.
Oh, I have.
Not gone that far, no.
Not gone that far.
You hear that? You hear that horrible rattle of plastic going up the Hoover tube when you're hoovering, and yeah,
like that. When it goes right head, Zaid.
Yeah, you think, oh no. So I've actually had the newspaper on the kitchen floor, emptied the Hoover bag out.
You find it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad as well, because it was a 1/72 canopy, and I thought myself, I ain't never going to be able to make one of them.
Ask Mark about his 1/9 scale MG34 that he lost.
Yeah, so I built the Zundap bike. In fact, we're gonna get, but no, that comes onto a different thing. Tweezer twang. You fed the carpet monster. You get down on your hands and knees. Don't forget, I'm in my shed, in my garage, so I've got a concrete floor. I've only got 2 strip lights above my head, so it's pitch black under here. So I have to get my phone on, turn the torch on, and I'm down. And while I'm down looking for something, in this instance, my latest one was the splitter, which is that from the intakes on the Vulcan. It won't focus, but that's what it is. And I'm down there and I'm going, that's me F1 in 32 F4 ladder that I lost last year. That's me pen. That's end of my airbrush. That's, yeah, absolutely.
My next question is, how can you lose something so big?
Yeah.
Well, that comes on to, hang on, because we're going to get to that.
Right, we've had I think Rob's there, off into the Twilight Zone. Dave's just said, I've never let the carpet monster win. I get obsessed until I find it. Yes, Dave, I do exactly the same. And we've had Sean Senior. Good evening, Sean. He says, good evening all. I hope you had a great Christmas. And all the best to 2025. Yourself as well, mate.
Definitely. Let me just have a look. Right.
I think Pete popped up something about drilling holes, not drilling holes in wings for pylons after you've glued it.
Oh, yes. Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I'm writing that down.
Or drilling the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then having to fill the bloody things
and having to fill the bloody things at the end of it. You think, what are those holes? And you think, oh, well,
I'm writing that one down because that's a beauty.
That's a classic, that is.
That is that will turn you, that turns you instantly into a pro builder.
That's worth 2 points, Mark.
I know. Do you know what worst thing is? I'm sat here drinking whiskey, and I know by end of night I'm going to be absolutely razzled. Just sat here pissing myself and laughing. Right? Have you ever bought a kit? This turns you into a seasoned builder. You've bought a kit. You've thought, I'm having one because you've seen the box art, and then you've come home and you've got on YouTube and you've watched a YouTube video and you've thought, fuck that, straight to the bottom of the stash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Done that.
Well, yeah, I'll buy.
Have you not done that, James?
Yeah, because
I think it's because I have only got such a small array of kits to build. I've got 5 that you go out and I only buy what I want to build now. Wife, 2 kids, and all that sort of shit.
Mm.
And even though, I mean, we've talked, I ain't got a missus and my missus ain't got a say. I mean, my missus ain't got a say, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't like to look up there and see 100 kits and know that she can't have a new purse. Yeah,
I can understand that.
You can understand that, okay. So, have I bought a kit, watched the YouTube video, and put it straight to the bottom of the stash?
Yeah.
I've done it a couple of times, but I tend to, before I buy anything now, I tend to go on YouTube and look at...
Do the reverse.
Do the reverse. And if people, if most of the people say it's an absolute dog of a kit, I just don't bother.
No.
Yeah.
But then there's a challenge, isn't there? Whether you, if you think to yourself, well, everybody, because that's part of, I think that's part of
modeling as well.
Modeling is the challenge of making a decent job out of a crap kit.
Yeah. Yeah, agree totally.
Okay.
Right, Rob's come in. He said, I thought I could build 148 when only build 32nd and 24th. That's to do with your eyesight, Rob. Yeah. So you must be old.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Like me.
That's why I don't build 172nd anymore.
Oh, I've had a crack at it. I have had a crack at it.
We're gonna pause. We've got our Paul on, who's in the shed. Good evening, young man.
Good evening, Paul.
Evening,
Paul. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, my fellow modelers.
Thank you, mate. We've started on, Paul. We've started on what we were chatting about last night, because that's the topic of tonight's stream. And just a quick yes or no then. So have you ever knocked a glue over or a paint?
Yes, one of each, yeah, both, yeah.
One of each. Have you ever super glued photo etch to your fingers? Or to the tweezers, or to the or something that you're not supposed to fucking glue it to?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Have you ever bought a kit and then sold it for less?
Very much so.
Ever put decals on upside down?
No.
Tweezer twang. We've talked about tweezer twang. Lost a part and found something that you lost 6 months since?
Yes, definitely. Many occasions.
Many occasions. Have you ever, and last one, before we move on, have you ever bought a kit, then watched the YouTube videos and thought, no chance am I going to start that now and put it to the bottom of the pile?
Up to now, no.
Good on you. Cool. Who's winning? Who's winning? Look, where did we get to? I think Rob had got a point for tweezer twang.
Dave got 2 for his. Was it Dave or was it Pete? Who's you'll have to have a look in the comments, Mark. I think it was Dave.
I've got it.
Brilliant.
Dave got 2 points for that. I think Rob.
Yeah, he got 2 points for that.
Rob got another point for that one, but not for that one. Right, moving on. Have we ever attached a part meant for this side and it should have been for other side? Yes. Paul?
Yeah. I think I've definitely glued the part on wrong and then managed to rescue it. But yeah.
Yeah, I've done it, but I've like Paul, I've managed to rescue it quite quickly. I've sort of like seen the error of my ways quite quickly.
Oh no, I would say I've rescued it like 2 or 3 days later, and a bit more glue on it to soften the joint.
Yeah.
You know that old chestnut.
James?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
I have. I think the one that stands out for me is a kit that I'm actually going to give to Mr. Radcliffe there. I work in a distribution centre, so we constantly are flying around on fork trucks. I said that I wanted an army type fork truck. Which kit was it, Paul? Can you remember?
It's a tack-on kit, isn't it? Or
tack-on? It's tack-on.
Was it the tack-on? Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it was the instructions on page 1 had the orientation of the truck in say going from left to right. Step 2, left to right. Step 3, and by the time I got to step 3, I'm like, yeah, this is, and I'm doing all this side. Got to step 6, and I put all these parts on. I think there were 3 different parts that I had to put on. Turned the page over to step 7, and it was then that I realised that the orientation had flipped it upside down and pointing it that way. So when I sort of rewound the book, I realised that I'd put all those parts on the wrong freaking side.
Yeah, I remember that well, Mark.
You remember that well, mate, don't
Mm.
you? So that's where that question came from. Have we ever gone into a shop wanting supplies and you've come out buying something else and you haven't bought what you went in for?
I don't think I've ever been to a shop and not come out with a load of other crap that I didn't want.
But
Yeah,
the question is, have you ever got home and gone, yeah, I want, oh, yeah, where's my oh, I didn't bleeding buy any. Done that.
I buy most of my stuff online nowadays because there aren't a lot of model shops. The nearest one to me is an hour and a half away, but so I buy a lot of stuff online. And for some reason, I had a period last year when I was buying stuff. I did like inventory of that. I've got so much masking tape. I don't think I ever never need to buy masking tape ever again because I've always. When you get to the cash, you get to the thing. It said, "Do you need masking tape?" Yeah, I'll have a couple of rolls because it always comes in handy.
Yeah, it's like sweets at a supermarket aisle, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when you stood waiting at the checkout.
You got all the chocolate bars and everything. No, yeah, go on, and I'll have a chocolate bar.
Yeah,
I'll go on, and I'll have a roll of masking tape.
Yeah. So any of the above will qualify you as a seasoned builder, including this one. And this one, I think both Paul and James qualify. So you've started a kit and you've got so far into it and it just starts either beating you or you beat yourself up that you can't do it. So you shelf queen it. And that's basically it. Making an excuse and starting another kit. You shelf queen that one and come out with some bullshit bollocks excuse of why you've put it to one side. Oh, I'll do that in summer. Bullshit. If it were that good, you'd see it through. James, you've done that.
Yeah, it's there. But as I said,
Phantom.
Phantom.
Yeah, Phantom.
I do.
5 years that took me.
I was just going to say, how long did it take you to do that one?
That was off and on my bench for about 5 years, off and on.
Yeah, mate.
But it wasn't that it was difficult or any problems with it. It was more. I got bored with just gluing bogies together and bogey after bogey and just.
Yeah.
You know, and I got towards the end of it, and there's no meat and potatoes in it. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
A little bit of Photo-X here, a little bit of Photo-X there. Then have to paint it, and then wait. So yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice to have something to fall back on, though, isn't it? I mean, that's another way of being a seasoned modeler. You can go back to it, even if it takes you 5 years to finish. You've finished it finally. And you've done a good job of it.
There's another question there as well. You got to want to do it.
Yeah.
I started that 1/32 Tamiya F14, and because it's all raised panel lines, I thought to myself, well, I'm obviously going to sand all that down and rescribe it all. Yeah, and I did, but at the end of the rescribing, I was so sick of rescribing stuff. I just said I can't be bothered anymore, and just boxed it and put it on the shelf. And then I picked it up again. It took me, all told, nearly 2 years to get it finished. And I was well chuffed with the results. But when I picked it up again, I thought to myself, I want to finish that F14 now.
Yeah.
I'm a similar situation as well. I mean, that tank transporter was on the bench off and on for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And since I've moved into my new shed now, the first thing I said was, right, if it's on the bench, it's getting finished. And the first thing I decided to put on the bench was the tank transporter.
That's true.
So I've stuck it out.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
And you've done a cracking job of it, mate.
That's the New Year's resolution for next year, though, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yeah. Then if it's on the bench,
it's finished.
No more of this shelf queen.
Keep adding your comments, guys. Keep adding your comments. Have you ever, guilty, fit a part onto a kit knowing full well you're going to knock it off, and you have done in first half an hour?
Yeah.
Done that?
I've got a few here. Yeah, I've got a few little bits here that I've knocked off.
Rob Peternaid, I need to know if you've done that. So it's like could be a pitot tube or you know, a little antenna, something like that, and you fit it on and you thought, do you know what? I'm a seasoned builder, mate. I'm going to be really, really careful. Absolutely. And you're sort of doing your thing and you turn it upside down to do something else, and then you look back and you've knocked it off.
Yeah,
absolutely. That'll turn you into one. Okay. Now then, this one was from Andy Norfolk yesterday. I don't know if he did it or not. I haven't done it, but George has, my lad. Have you ever taken a swig of paint water instead of a swig of pop?
Absolutely not.
So the glass that you wash the brush out in.
When I was I don't drink anymore, but when I drank, I liked a whiskey, and my paint glasses are these. And obviously I'd been painting something that was it was the colour of apple juice when I actually got it. I got it to my lips. God, that smells horrible. And it was, I didn't drink it, but it was very, very close.
Very close.
It's a bit of a worry here with regards to that. I was just sat down having my tea before, and I picked that up thinking it was vinegar. That was on me. I just seen the maroon top. It's the same as the Sarson's maroon top vinegar.
That's going to make your chips. That's going to make your chips taste a bit
spicy.
Isn't it just? Dave Taylor gets another point. He says, I always make that mistake. Always put the little fiddly bits on and knock them off. Never learn. And you know what? I mean, I haven't been modelling long, 8 years, but what did I do it on? I did it on something on my last build. What was my last build, James?
Your last build? The Phantom.
Pitot tube. Yeah, put it on and thought, yeah, I'm a seasoned builder. And there's no way I'm going to knock that off. And lo and behold, not just once, twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dear me. Dave says 10 points for 10 points for Paul. Definitely. Yeah. We'll cross that one out. Have you ever? Oh, this is my fucking favourite, and I'm swearing. This is my favourite. Have you ever, I'm going to cut to chase, have you ever put a part down thinking, I've cut it off my sprue, I'll put it there, I'm just going to do this. You look up to grab it, and it's fucking vanished.
Yeah. Every build.
Yeah. Definitely.
Every time. That's an absolute beauty, that.
Well, educated point then, Mark. Did you ever find your machine gun off your Zundap, off your?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did find it. Where was it, Mark?
Yeah, I did. I think it was. Was it under the fridge?
It was under the fridge, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Elsie's just come in. He said, if you build the inside of a bomber you are not going to see, do you put it in or should you leave it out?
Put it in, man.
We know what the answer to that is, don't we? If it's if it's in the box, it goes in the kit.
Absolutely.
If it's in the box, it's going on.
If it's in the box, it's
I
going
get that
on.
question quite a lot when I'm detailing stuff like a bike engine or a Formula One car engine or anything really, or the inside of a tank. And they say, what are you putting that in for? And I said, because I know it's in there.
Yeah.
I know it's in there. I don't give a monkeys whether anybody can see it. I know it's in there.
Yeah.
Look at Dave racking these points up here. Another point for Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always clear
Always
parts.
the clear parts. Yeah, we got another one with clear parts
It's
coming
one of
up.
the most frustrating things that we do come across, and I do. I think a lot of it, as well, is to do with my memory. You literally do get something, you cut it off, you put it down, and you either I'll just nip inside for a pee, I'll just have a swig, I'll just have a fag, I'll just do this. Right, where's that? Well, the shuffling up, where's it? And it's like somebody's crept in. Have you seen that thing on? There's a thing on. I'll tell you what it reminds me. There's a little clip on Facebook of a bloke trying to plug his telly in back at plug, and from other side there's a hand comes in going.
Yeah.
Do you know which one I mean?
I haven't seen it.
He
No.
punches it all through the wall, doesn't he, and starts trying to get the cable in, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it reminds me of that because you literally cut the part off, you're doing a little bit, and it might only be 30 seconds or a minute, and you go, right, what the flipping hell? Where have I put that? And I mean, I've got a 6 foot. My bench is an old 6 foot long, 3.5 foot wide dining table. It's massive, and I've got all sorts of crap all over it all the time. And I'm even looking on the other side, dude. It's like, and then I stand up and I go to, what did I do? And then I reversed, and then I did this, and I rolled a cig up, and then I did that. And we're gone forever. And you're like, I can't believe it.
Mark House's just put up another one, mate.
Yeah, man.
This is even better. Drilling a location point and going through into your finger.
Done that.
Done that.
Yeah. Guilty.
Writing that one down.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Well,
going back to that one though, Mark, like, putting a part down and losing it.
Yeah.
How the hell, when you do find it, it's like trees to twang. How the bloody hell does it go so far away from it's carpet? How does a tiny little piece of plastic like that bounce like 30 yards into the kitchen and end up over the fence?
Yeah.
What I do now to stop that, every time I cutting something off, I put them in these little plastic pots.
Yeah.
And when I was,
but even then, it still happens.
Yeah,
it still happens. But 9 times out of 10, if it happens to me, I've cut it off the sprue and it pings off the snippers.
Yeah, I've literally just done that same thing, Gabe. I've just had some parts that are painted off double-sided tape and into my jar. I've just done it in just that minute right now.
That was one of the positive things of being in hospital a few times this year. When they come around with your medicine in the morning, I had medicine 4 times a day, they give me in these little plastic pots and then they throw them away. I come out with hundreds of them. Yeah, they're brilliant.
Oh yeah, McDonald's. Woohoo!
Oh,
yeah.
I've got shot glasses.
Unbelievable.
I've got my little shot glasses.
What James got here?
I've got shot glasses, mate.
Oh, right, okay.
Those little shot glasses.
Yeah.
Obviously plastic.
Yeah. No good for thinners.
Right, this one is a double-edged one. Obviously, some of it is for me, some of it's not. So, have you ever made a brew or sparked a ciggy up while you're building? And you know where I'm going with this. Then you make your brew, you spark your cig up, put it in ashtray, you get cracked on, and before you know it, if you've made your tea, you go for a drink and it's flat cold, or you go to reach into ashtray for your cig and it's literally burnt all the way back up to the tab. Guilty, both.
Done it with the tea. I don't
Done
smoke,
it with the tea.
Done it with the tea.
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
Absolutely.
I use these things.
Oh yeah.
The old little tea bag under the lip.
I do usually end up, I think the lads know, I usually end up with an absolute shitload of cups in here.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's because the 3/4 full, because I've made me brew, and you just never get round to drinking it. What an
I
absolute
guess
mess.
I'm similar. Like I get so involved.
Go on, sir, one at a time. What you got, Paul?
Oh, yeah. A lot of time I get so involved that my beer goes warm.
I can't believe that for a second, lad. Yo, to add to that one, James.
Hey?
Have you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, so I think you've got a cup there, mate, from season 1 when you first started the club up.
Yeah, mate, absolutely.
And it's still got cold tea in it.
And it's still got cold tea in it.
My lad always says to me that your model room looks like a builder's van. It's just full of teacups.
Not wrong with that. I even went out and bought a bag of those from where I got them from Home Bargains, I think. Bag of about 10 instant coffees, and it's got the coffee, the powdered milk, and the sugar in it. And I said to our last ones, do you know what our kitchen needs? What? A new kettle. Well, yeah, we'll go and get a new kettle. And it was no to do with kitchen. It's because I wanted the old kettle in here. But she fell for it hook, line and sinker. And I still end up making a brewing house and bringing it up. Failed. Right, okay. Moving on. This one's for me, and you can take the piss all you want. I'm not an armour builder, but I have put tracks on the wrong way round.
Yeah. Not me. Yeah. Not yet. No. Not yet, anyway. There's a first time.
Not me, not yet.
No, not me.
I've dry fitted them on the wrong way round, but never glued them in place on the wrong way round.
I think I know I'm going to get into trouble the first time that I put a wing on upside down. That'll be... But we'll leave that one there.
The best dad.
Yeah, because he's watching live stream. So, what we got here? We've got House said.
Speak of the devil.
Another one in.
Speak of the devil. Putting a model into a boot of a car, thinking it'll fit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I've never done that. Never done that one, Davey.
No.
But good one. All the same. Look at we see that's House's comments.
Like Pete's just put one up. Have a look at that one. She fucking killed me.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad one. Does that qualify to go? That qualifies. You're in Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Here's one for you. Now, when you're thinking about pigment, I did this not so long ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was doing a little bit of pigment on a diorama base. Poured the powder into a little sort of like, I've got like a little jam jar lid so I can mix it up with the pigment fixer or thinners. And before I managed to pour the thinners in, I sneezed.
No.
Absolutely everywhere it was.
Walking out.
Everywhere.
Brilliant.
Are you making that up?
No, I'm not. I've still got traces of pigment all over in front of me now. And it was for this. I was doing a corrugated roof with some rust on it.
And so it was like a brown pigment. It weren't like Normandy.
Yeah, no, it was dark rust.
Oh.
And I poured it in this little. I've got a little glass thing that I pour it into. And just before, I don't know, I don't sneeze a lot, but just before I poured the thin, I had the thinners or this bottle in my hand, ready to pour it in.
Oh,
and I just went, shoo, and it went everywhere.
Pete, I was actually going to award you a point there for the pigment on the carpet. However, even though I've had a couple of shots, you have started that sentence with "my mate," which means it weren't you. So it's nil point for Pete on
There
that
we
one.
go. Good evening, Andy from New Zealand.
Is that the famous one? I'm asking for a mate.
Yeah, I'm asking for a mate. Yeah.
There you go. How about that one?
Andy says, "Go on, James, read it out."
Andy in the house. Evening, Andy. Tried to open the jar of tomato paint with a set of adjustable grips. Oh, asking for trouble. Smash his jar, paint all over the bench and the carpet.
Jesus Christ.
I think Tamiya should be sued for the design of their bloody paint bottles.
Very much so. 10 points straight on for that one. I think Andy Love. Definitely.
They've even got a tool out now for opening Tamiya paint, haven't they?
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's about 10 quid.
Oh, yeah, look, he's got one. Bloody hell.
Hey-o. Come on. Hey-o.
You get a little rubber pocket to put it in as well, so you can.
Wow, look at that!
I'll tell you what, it's an absolute godsend because you know how bad Tamiya paints stick.
Yeah.
Right,
no.
Moving on. Guilty, many a time. So we know that glue doesn't like paint. However, have you ever come to glue two surfaces together, knowing that they've got paint on, like fuselage halves, intakes, that sort of shit, knowing that your glue is going to turn that paint to mush and shit, but you still haven't taken the time to sand it off? Plastic sticks to plastic, not to glue. Paul Radcliffe, guilty
yes,
or
most
not?
definitely. I do it all the time, and I will probably continue to do it because it doesn't bother me. Until I have a problem with it, that's when I might stop. I've never had a problem with it, so it's not caused me any problem.
James, before we get to the comment, have you ever just like, I'm gluing this together, sod it?
Mate, sod it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Like Paul, I've never had a problem.
Yeah,
never had a problem.
Exactly the same. I've done it quite a few times and sort of it never had a problem with it as long as you're careful.
Okay. I'm going to put this one up. James?
Yeah, she's tried to decant a rattle can of painting double dash yourself in the entire shed in orange.
Right, that's going down.
What the hell are you using orange for, Dave? What's he using orange for?
Marlboro colour scheme?
Yeah, probably, because he does build cars. However, what we want to know is there a way that you're supposed to are you supposed to hold the can upside down?
No, you use a straw.
No.
What's the crack? How come
you use a little tube, don't you? I think you use a little tube, don't you? Yeah.
Drinking straws.
Right.
Drinking straw with a bit of blue tack over the end.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then whatever you're decanting into,
and then
I always
just nice and gently on the button on the trigger.
And whatever you're decanting into, I always put masking tape over the top of it and put a little hole in it so it can't.
Yeah. That's the one. Yes, so down.
Don't very often do it, but every now and then I do.
Yeah, I think I've only ever done it once myself. That was hairspray.
Here's one for me. Did it yesterday, for Christ's sake. So, sat in your shed, you're modelling, your mind's not 100% focused. And, right, so you've got these bits on this sub-assembly and you think, right, I've glued them together, I can now attach this bit. Look for it. No, it's not there. Where's it gone? So then you think on about the tweezer twang. You think on about the comment that we had earlier where it's just completely disappeared. AD mentioned the Hoover, but before the Hoover, and this is what happened to me yesterday, and it was actually with that little piece, the intake splitter, because there's 2 intakes on the Vulcan, obviously. I've done one side and I'm doing other, and I'm trying to coach myself into, am I cutting all the bits off and cracking on, or am I doing one side fully and then doing other side? But because I'd mixed myself up, I couldn't remember where I was in the sequence, looking for the splitter, couldn't find it, spent 20 minutes on the floor, torch on my phone, etc., etc. It was the last part on the sprue, and I've got my little recycling bin here at bottom of my desk, and I thought, absolutely no way. Pulled the sprue out, and it was still on.
Yeah. Yeah. Many a time. Well, yeah, quite a few times. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
done that.
Myself, a lot of the time, say for instance, that screw there. So it's that screw there. It's marking. So like that, there's only like 4 or 5 bits left on it. So quite often I'll go around and just snip them off enough, and then bin the screw. So yeah, obviously, you know, there's a chance that I've missed a part because I haven't been using my eyes properly.
There is a sequence on this, and the sequence usually goes something like, look for the part, can't find it. Look all round under your bench, can't find it. I've actually skipped a part out. You get your instruction book back out and turn to the sprue guide to find out which sprue it were on. Then you check either your sprue holder or your box where all your sprues are, looking for sprue D. It's not in here. So where the Chuppinelli sprue D, then you go to your bin and you look and you go, yeah, sprue D, it's here. Where is it on that? Oh, it's right. And it's usually a part that's right on edge that shouldn't even really be on that sprue because it looks like a part of the goddamn sprue.
Yeah.
Done it.
Yeah. Some kit manufacturers are bloody awful as well because they make you jump between sprues.
Yeah, true.
You'll get like a part of the instructions. You're going to build a sub assembly, and you're into 7 different bloody sprues.
Yeah,
that really annoys me. I mean, that's one of the things I like about Tamiya so much. You know, most of there's and same with Revell as well. They're quite logical the way they put the things on the sprues.
Dave House, enlighten us, please, love. Something on the Titanic. So that suggests to me.
What's the orange, Mark?
On the orange, yes. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that, Dave.
And then again, sneezing and everything in front of me goes flying. We've had that one from Aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've written it down. I've made a note of that one. Now, this one was a bit obscure, and I've never, ever done this, but I think somebody mentioned it, James, last night, that they've opened a kit, looked through instructions, and literally binned the kit before even starting it.
Yeah, I'd never do that. No,
I've never done that, I must admit.
No, I wouldn't do that, mate. No chance.
No chance. No. I wouldn't do that one.
No, I wouldn't do it too.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. You can call yourself a seasoned builder if anybody's ever given you a kit and you've rescued it to a brilliant standard.
Yes, very much so.
Paul, tell us more.
Yeah, so one of my dream kits from when I was a child was a Tamiya's Yamaha 250 motocross bike in 1:6 scale. Absolutely loved it. I was into bikes when I was a kid anyway, real bikes. And seeing this kit from Tamiya, I was like, oh yeah, I'd love that when I was a kid. Obviously forgot all about it. Gets back into the hobby again. One club, long out of production, this kit, long out of production. I'm searching for it, long out of production. One comes up for sale, gets it for 50 quid, and it had been started, which I didn't know at the time. and it was that old. It had the original glue that we used to use when we were kids. You know, the Yoo-hoo, and it's just like glue everywhere, and it was it was just a mess. I was like, but anyway, I rescued it, and I'd done an absolutely amazing job on it.
Cool.
I was so pleased with myself because, like I said, it was a kit and a long after. I managed to find one, but it was trash. That could have been a kit. I could have just like lobbed in the bin. But I was determined to rescue it and make it work, and I did.
Determined. James, have you ever rescued it? You've never rescued anything? That pops you back into the background. Aid, ever rescued a kit?
I did a similar thing with a Matchbox Barry Sheen bike. You remember the old Matchbox kit? The bloke had started it, got the frame and stuff together, all that sort of stuff, and he sold it to me for 20 quid. And I thought, wow, and I made a pretty decent job of it. I was well chuffed.
Cool, cool beans. Mine personally, I think James and Paul know about this one. I had an A10 given.
A10, yeah.
2 years ago by a really good friend of mine, Darren in Blackpool, and said, I cannot do this one. Do you want it? Got it home, opened the box up, and I've actually always wanted that Trumpeter A10. Massive kit. Where is it? I think actually is it at work? I think it's in my gaffer's office at work. In fact, it is. But that turned out absolutely cracking. Absolutely superb. And I've got another one to do as well. So rescued a kit. Any of you guys ever rescued a kit? On the comments, tell me what it was and tell me how bad it was. Yeah.
Go on, Paul. Do you know you still got the hook in the top of your hat?
Yes, I know, mate. I know.
Oh, well then.
You know why that is, though, Paul, don't you?
So you can hang it up when you take it off.
No, think about how tight I am, son.
He's going to plug it on.
Yeah.
You're going to plug it on.
Yeah.
He's got to buy a pair of scissors.
Obviously, if I try and sell it to any lads round at Fishing Lake and it hasn't got the hook on, they'll know it's second hand. Whereas if it's got the tag on, it's brand new.
But man, he's got a box of R50, doesn't it? Keep one for yourself, doesn't it?
I know. Cool. Have we ever? Let's have a look. Have we ever? Oh, now then. I know our Paul's going to answer this one. Okay, and because he's that chuffing, he's that much of an elitist. Have you ever picked a kit up after you've put it down 12 months prior? So you've thought, I'm going to have another go at that, and you get it out, and you look at the work that you've done, and when you look at that work, you think, Jesus Christ, was I really that bad? But at the time, you thought it was the dog's danglies.
No, not me. Mine's always the dog's danglies, simple as.
Yeah, I know you're going to say that.
He sure is.
I know you were going to say that. Okay. Let me just have a look here. Right. So, James, you've never picked up an old kit and thought, bloody hell, I have so moved on in my skills.
Yeah, well, I have. I've got kits behind me that I've started and finished, and they improve. They improve every time.
Why is it then at the time I'm sat here now and I think this Vulcan that I'm doing is going to look brilliant, and I put it across all my social medias and one thing another, and I get lots of people going, that looks absolutely fantastic, and one thing another, and then when I look at it in 12 months' time, I think, what the chuffing hell were I thinking? No? Yes? No?
No,
not me,
really.
No. I've not experienced it yet, mate. I suppose there's a first time for everything.
I think it's a learning curve, Mark, isn't it? Really?
Mate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely.
I think a lot of modelers are perfectionists. They think to themselves, well, you can look at it and think, well, I've made a decent job of that, and I do quite often give myself a pat on the back and say, yeah, that looks good, but then I can go back to it and thought myself, well, I should have done this, I should have done that, should have made that better, I should have done that in a slightly different shade of color or what have you. But at the end of the day, I'm less interested in the finished article than I am actually doing the build, if you know what I mean.
All right, yeah, cool.
Andy's put a comment up there. Mark, I'll let you read that one out.
Let's get it on the screen. It says, yep. In fact, before we do that, let's go back up here because we entered houses. He says, after 4 to 5 hours modelling, taking 5 minutes out to drink my coffee and waking up an hour later. What the actual is what? Let me read that again. So after 4 or 5 hours modelling, because I know where Dave does his modelling.
Yeah.
Taking 5 minutes out to drink my coffee and waking up an hour later. That suggests to me one or two things. A, what was in the goddamn coffee?
Yeah.
Right? Or B, what on earth? What on earth? Right, Dave, so you have to explain that one. This one, it says no because nobody ever gives me out. And what's that all about? What's that?
That's a donated kit.
How about rescuing kits?
Rescue kit.
That was a donated kit, Mark. Yeah.
Right, okay. So Andy says, he says, yep, I want to do it in a New Zealand accent, but I know I'll absolutely take the piss. So, yeah, rescued a Revel 1 in 32. No, that's not right, is it?
No, it's
P51. Donated it back to the guy I bought it from. Oh, and he's not well with cancer. Right, let me read that again. Yeah, rescued a Revel 1 in 32, P51. And he gave it back to the guy I bought it from. As he's not well with cancer. Andy, that's absolutely superb, that mate. Brilliant. Absolutely banging that cocker.
I've just about a month ago, I just finished that Reval 132nd P51D.
Yeah.
Cracking little kit. Cracking kit, I'll tell you.
I got it in my stash.
The paint job was an absolute nightmare masking wise because it was a really good. It was a nice kit, really nice kit.
Yeah. And Rob said, as I tend to repaint the old 1 in 32 kits, as they're bloody expensive to replace. Do you know what? I have thought about doing that, Rob, but how do you go? Do you scratch the decals off before you repaint it? I've heard about people putting kits in. Is it Mr. Oven Cleaner to strip them down?
I think brake fluid will do it, won't it?
Brake fluid, yeah.
Rob,
enlighten us, mate, on how you do that. Okay.
Mark, is that Rob as in Adams?
No, it's not. No, Rob. Let's just go back to the top of chat. Rob, tell us where you are, love. Tell us where you are in the world. I'll say world. Tell us where you are in the world, flower. Now then. So, have you ever? Now then, do you know what? I added this one. He sands the decals off. Right, okay. Now I did.
And he's in Staffordshire.
All right, cool. By Cosford. Very good.
By Cosford.
Now, I'm sure that you've all been on your Facebooks today. And Airfix have announced some new things again, is it, in January? Have you not seen that post?
I haven't seen it yet.
Spitfire, 172nd scale Spitfire.
Right, so the question was, have you ever been sucked in to answering an Airfix question, telling them what you want, a 1 in 32 Jag, this particular boat, this particular car, only to find out that later on down the line, it's a Spitfire? Have you ever got sucked into one of those debates?
You did, Mark, I think, didn't you? Right, Andy's off. He says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Same to you, Andy.
And you, Andy.
That's the one down there in New Zealand, mate. You'll be a day in front of us.
He's a day in front.
He is a day in front. Yeah,
cheers, Andy, mate.
See you later, mate.
All the best, mate.
Yeah, so I've been sucked into answering that question, thinking that it's one person on the other end of the screen going, I'll just make a note of that. I'll just make a note of that. Right. Yeah, got all them. Hey up, boss. They want a Spitfire.
You're better off answering the questions of what you don't want, and then there's more chance of getting what you do want.
I like it. I like it. Have you ever been sucked into a Facebook debate because you know best? That's a tough one.
No, I don't bother with things like that, mate.
No, I mean I've been in debates, but I've never ever, and I never will ever think that I'm best.
No,
I know best.
We know you are, Paul.
We
but
know
I have
that,
seen.
We know that, mate.
Now
He says it with a straight face as well.
He does. The term that comes from this, the term that comes out of that, sorry, James, is rivet counter.
It's a rivet counter, yeah.
So the question,
they know best, mate.
Yeah. Have you ever been sucked? Because, you know, if you've got a specialised subject and you think, I know everything there is to know about that kit because I've built it and I do this and I do that. Have you ever been sucked into an argument where somebody's posted something and you've gone, no, that's not right, but I'll leave it there. And then somebody else chips in and somebody else chips in. And before you know it, you're picking up your pen of rage and you're off. And you've literally been sucked into it. Never done it?
No, never want to. No,
don't
bother, mate.
Life's too short. Life's too short.
I'm quite happy with what I do, Mark. And if somebody else wants to criticise it, that's up to them, mate. I'm happy with it. That's all that matters.
As long as you're happy, Cooker, that's all that matters.
One of the favourite things on Facebook I've noticed in a lot of model groups and what have you is that people that tend to think they know all about colours.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Should be that shade of green, should be that shade of blue, should be that shade of green. And it just boggles my mind how they get the energy to.
That's what they do, though. That's what they do, eh? They just want a reaction.
Yeah.
They want a reaction, they want a debate, and in the end, they get kicked off the group anyway because they cause so much trouble. So,
because when people have asked my advice about colour, I always say to them that don't ask me for advice. Just do it in what colour you think looks good. If you're happy with the results, bollocks to everybody else.
Yeah. Totally agree, eh? Totally agree, mate. He's just said same thing. If it looks like the thing, I'm happy. Yeah.
Totally right.
When I was in my tornado building phase, at the end of it, the reason that I built so many was because I made a mistake on the first one, so I thought I need to build it again and correct that. I built it again and corrected it, but made a second mistake, and it took me sort of 10, 15 goes to get it absolutely cock on. But at the end of it all, I was literally saying to myself, you know, it looks like a tornado, it smells like a tornado, and that'll do for me.
It is.
Like a tornado.
I think it's the same with the people say, oh, kits, this is not accurate, this shape's not right, and all this sort of stuff. And I think to myself, well, if it looks like a Spitfire, it is a Spitfire. If it looks like a tornado, it is a tornado, if you know what I mean.
I must admit, I'm actually in that dilemma right now, Aid, because this Airfix Vulcan that is now a couple of years old, it comes with two schemes.
Yeah.
Neither of which interest me. So I've been on to Sean at SGS and he sent me a link down to Hannants that I can enhance this kit. And one thing that I've noticed is I can actually get the Black Book decal pack for it, which is it's X.
What are the two schemes? Are the two schemes the camouflage? Is the two schemes the camouflage one and the anti-radiation white?
Yes, but the squadrons that they supply for me has just been an out-of-the-box builder. I thought, oh, you know, I'll do it. But then the Vulcan is so infamous with doing that raid.
Yeah,
I mean, they were only chuffing. I watched a video on it today. They were only chuffing one round landed on runway.
Yeah.
But I want XM607, and Sean can get me that decal pack for £8. And I'm going to do it. But when I started looking through Google at M607 aircraft, there's certain parts that are attached to it, something to do with radars and sensors and all sorts of things, and they don't come in the kit. And then I'm starting to plague myself by thinking, how can I say, ladies and gents, here's my black book, when I know I'm going to get criticised saying, well, you haven't put this on and that's missing and one thing and another.
Yeah, you're overthinking it.
Can you scratch build them? Can you scratch build them though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Look, that begs the question, Mark. Why didn't you get the black book kit in the first place?
Because I just wanted a Vulcan, and it weren't a lot of my problems, Paul. And I rush in, mate, and I don't think it through. I didn't think I want to do a Vulcan. What sort of Vulcan should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? I want to do a Vulcan.
Yeah.
That's my base plate.
Yeah.
Once I started it, then I thought, oh, well, what kind of Vulcan can I actually do?
Can you get the black book kit then? Is that available?
Yeah,
you can.
But I'm just going to stick with, I'm going to order that decal pack off Sean, and I am going to do a close as possible black book. I'm going to do it because that's what I want to do. Okay. Have you ever, this will class you as a seasoned builder. And I know the answer to this one, so I've been knowing if you're lying. Start with you, Paul. Have you ever gone to bed thinking, you get in bed and you right, I'll go to sleep, right, but I'm just thinking back to my model. So if I do that next, and I glue them, sand that, I can paint them, while that's drying, I can do that. Have you ever gone to bed with that sort of mindset in your head?
Yes, very much so. And quite often, early hours in the morning, when I get up for the piss and I go back to bed, and it's like, fucking hell, yeah, it's a cheat. Oh, no, it's yeah, but if I do that, I might have to do that. If I can fix that, to put that in fair. Yes, very much so, mate. Yeah, very much so.
Aid, you ever do that, mate?
Yeah, so I have. I'm quite guilty of that. Go like fall asleep and wake up to go for a piss, like Paul says, and then think to yourself, yeah, I can do that, and that, but I'll take it a step further. I'll go in and do it. I'll go in and do it.
No.
I do. I quite often sit there at 4 o'clock, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and do a little, just a little. Otherwise, I'll forget. Otherwise, I'll forget. I'll wake up in the morning and it's gone.
What? James, have you ever gone to bed thinking, if I do this and do that?
Yeah, I normally go to bed, turn the TV on in reference. If anything, just to make sure. Yeah, I do. I've been up sort of like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching the TV. The wife's snoring her head off next to me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's really unusual for me, that.
I'm like, he's a man after my own heart. I keep threatening to go and do something at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I never do.
Right.
I quite often do it.
I must admit, it's the last thing on my mind when I get into bed, because normally, well, every day, I've got my missus laid at side of me, and modelling's the last fucking thing I think of. Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Is she in the room with you there?
She's not. She's just gone now. Give me a cheeky wink. So, the winner of today's competition was actually Dave. Dave scored 7 points. It's all been a little bit of fun. At end of day, I mean, we can open it up now, right? So what makes you a seasoned builder? What makes me a seasoned builder is, and it's right there what Dave says, I would never criticise anybody's modelling. It's just not right. I'll tell you what I do.
Nice.
I see all sorts of modelling on Facebook forums and Instagram and one thing or another. I run Elite Model Productions Facebook group on Facebook. And I see the best of the best. And I also see my own work, which is the worst of the worst. The only rule that I've got, James, is that the kit that I'm doing now, I need to make it better than the kit that I've just done.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think it's natural progression, isn't it? It is natural progression. It's you always want to make something better than the last model you made.
Yeah.
And that's where referencing tends to come in. I mean, like I said to you, I've gone back onto the Phantom, and I'm looking at that. I've looked at stuff on YouTube of how to do this and how to do that, and I've also asked your advice as well.
Yeah.
Because you're a fast jet builder, and I mean, it's healthy advice as well. It's always healthy if you ask somebody who's willing to give you that information.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'm quite happy with my natural progression. I mean, like I said to you last night, that I've got the Liberator. I'm holding off on that one because I've got other stuff coming in. I've just picked up the Condor today. I've had another one through. I picked up the Condor yesterday. I've had another one come through today, and I should have the final one come through on
Monday.
Friday, I think. So I'm not telling you what they are, but that is going to be well out of my comfort zone because it's going into natural metal. And that's the only clue that you're getting.
I'm glad that you're buying all these kits, but does your lass know that you're on Beans on Toast all next week?
She is. I'm on bread and water.
Nothing wrong with Beans on Toast.
No, that's not true. Yeah, there she is. Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah,
that's a big old bird.
Oh, no. Yeah. Rob, I think it was Andy, wasn't it? Andy from New Zealand's building it.
Yes, I do believe so.
Doing a commission build on it, isn't he? And I've been talking with Paul because I know Paul's got the J. And there is a few issues with the kit, and Paul's helped me out with the rear turret because that one hasn't come through yet. That's what I'm waiting on. Is the rear turret, because the rear turret is split and there's a nasty seam down through the rear turret, which should be a clear part.
You'll see to that. AD, come on, talk to us. This is one of yours. This is why you're on. Let's go. What we got?
Yeah, man.
This is the Swedish version of the Hawker Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
What scale?
148.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely little kit. Simple, very simple, but it was a really nice kit. I enjoyed building it. The only thing that was a pain in the ass is those rockets on the side.
I was just going to say, how many rockets are on that?
There's 4 packs of 3, and the tips and the tails were all separate, and they had to be cut off the sprues and scraped, and absolute bloody nightmare they were. But I've done it clean because this is the air show version of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's got that decal set on it. I've done it quite clean. I didn't weather it too heavily, but it was a nice little kit. Hagasawa. And that's MRP paints all the way through.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, we talk about colour, right? The only person that I normally get in touch with is Mark regarding the paint, because I know he's an avid user of MRP, and I absolutely adore MRP.
It's the best thing that ever happened to this hobby.
So they get so much crap from modelers, but I can't believe it. But I think there's so much, you can control them so much with an airbrush. It's outrageous.
It's unbelievable.
I've yet to get my hands dirty. I've got MRP here. I have got MRP here from Mark's recommendation. But that's for the Phantom.
Wait, mate, I'll tell you what. I mean, you've put your mottle coat on. Wait while you start and spread. Make sure that PSI, James, is about 5 PSI.
Yeah, it's got to be right. Yeah, well, I've got the Mac 12 on the airbrush anyway.
A lot of people complain about that they don't last very long, but if you know how to use MRP, you can make a bottle last a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put it on in very light coats and build the colours up, and it's expensive and smelly, but I just love it.
Oh,
yeah. Well, it's not quite finished. That's actually photographs from a while ago. That to be honest with you, Mark, I've not actually taken any photographs yet of it actually finished because I'll be bringing it for competition next year.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like preemptive strike it, kind of thing. So, but yeah, hobby
I was
boss.
looking at this the other day, and I'm absolutely blown away by your chain work, mate. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It was difficult, like trying to get it to look tight because it's trying to get it to look tight as the hard thing, like. But yeah,
blown away. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Aid.
Paul went through such a minefield of getting the right chain, didn't you, Paul, for that?
Yeah. Taking your time, and like you can't even get it anymore now.
Did you get it from AK in the end? Because AK do quite a range of chains.
All right, okay. I don't know about that. Mine was from Accurate Armour.
All right.
Who's since stopped trading. It's a little bit weird what's going on with them, like, but yeah, that's sort of like still work in progress. Can I just say as well, though, with regards to being a seasoned modeler, I think what makes it a seasoned modeler as well is you've got to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy the hobby and be happy with what you're doing and what you've got. Because I think if you didn't like work through some of your problems that you have with a kit or your paint job or this, that, and the other you're wearing, you'd just give it up, wouldn't you? You just sorry, can't be bothered with this. So that instantly makes you a seasoned modeler because you persevered.
Yeah, it's the challenge.
Would you lads agree that all those little things that we've had a bit of a giggle on tonight, right?
Yeah.
When you're new into this hobby, you have got to do all those things. You have got to not paint over. You have got to put a Decathlon upside down that turns you into a better seasoned builder. You've got to do them. It's sort of like my old dad, it puts hairs on your chest. It's one of them. You've got to make the mistakes to learn on what you're doing.
Learn by
it's
doing.
It's like a badge of honor, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you don't make mistakes, you're never going to learn anything.
Like
you'll
a badge of honor.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, very much so. Back to pictures. John R. John's doing a little bit of he's got some Warhammer figure here that's standing on a skull. But the paintwork there is
outrageous.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay. James, back to you. What we got?
That's me little Jag Tiger. Yeah, that's 72nd.
That's tiny,
mate. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Dave Taylor was the one that said, it was one of his questions was, I think it was on one of the Airfix kits in 176, which is smaller again. And you don't realize what you've lost. When I was a kid, 72nd was the scale to do. And then 135th was a little bit more expensive, but you never touched that because you couldn't afford it, And then obviously as you get older, you drop off because of the girls and all that lot, and they get you into trouble. And then you get that period, boys, and you get that little period there where you're like, I'll need something to occupy my mind again. So then you pick it up, but then you go to 135th and 148 scale of planes and things like that, because, you're getting that little bit older, and the more money you've got, the easier it is. Then you drop off again. I mean, you say, I never touched it for 15 years.
Yeah.
I think it was my last kit that I built it's got to be around about 99, 2000. And then I started again in 2018, where most people did because of lockdown. And it was just to pick that up again and to enjoy what you do. That's the Puma. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Sorry, mate.
I think 130.
All right.
I mean, I build when I'm building army, it's mainly 135th because of the variety of kits available.
That's right, because of the variety of kits available. But now you've got even more variety, especially with the kits that come out from ICM. I mean, Tamiya at the time was the kit manufacturer to have. Now you've got, I'm going to say this, the Puma. This is Das Werk. Absolutely beautiful kit.
Yeah,
Really
certainly got better
kit.
stuff on.
And you,
I think Tammy have fell off the radar a little bit myself. You know,
I think they've been overtaken by other manufacturers. You know, you've got Trumpeter's been around for how long? Good 20 years. And I mean, their kits when they first started were all right. They were, I'm not going to say crap, but they were all right. Some of the stuff that they've introduced you couldn't grab hold of it in any scale at all until they brought it out in 132nd or 148th. And they've come along in leaps and bounds, Trumpeter. They really have. But I mean, Trumpeter's
range of 35th is absolutely unreal, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I think
some of them is really good subjects as well, because they brought out the big gun that Andy's doing. Andy White.
Yeah.
Is it Andy White that's doing the Leopold? I mean, they also brought out the BR-52, which is the train in 135th.
No, Andy Hartle.
Andy Hartle, sorry, yeah.
I think Tammy have been living on old merits for far too long now.
They are. Yeah.
And everybody's sort of like caught up or gone past them.
They've had a couple of new releases in it. Like, there's not really anything to shout out about, really, is it?
No, there's nothing that's sort of like caught my eye.
Nothing new. They've still got their good kits, haven't they? I mean, they've still got their 132nd. I mean, the F-14's a bit dated now. Trumpeter's brought out 3 lots of the F-14 now. They've brought out the A, the B, and the D. And I mean, they've got their issues, but they're a little bit more detailed than what the Tamiya kit is. But I still think
they are.
There's a couple of kits there. The Phantom, the Tamiya Phantom kits are spot on. They really are spot on.
James, what paint did you use for this kit that I've got on screen?
This is Tamiya paint.
Yeah.
It is
when
Tamiya
you
paint.
when you paint with MRP, okay, and I've told you this in the past, if you like Tamiya paint, when you start putting MRP through your paintbrush, it is like night and day.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the Tamiya is, you go through the stage, lift the lid, top it up with thinner, put the lid back on, give it a good shake, it's good to go. Yeah. So when I get around to using MRP, I mean, it's like I said, I'm waiting to use it. I'm going to get to that point where I'm going to use it, and I'll let you know how I'll get on with it.
Obviously, if you start with it, you start struggling, blah, 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 just stop, just give me a ring and just say, I'm doing something wrong here, mate, and I'll guide you through it, because it's absolutely incredible paint.
I'll tell you what I have found. I found out just, I've always thinned Tamiya paints to within an inch of its life.
Yeah.
To put it through the airbrush. But on recommendation from Phil Flory and the gang, I bought some of this AK acrylic thinners.
Oh yeah.
Because they thought, they said it was a dog's bollocks, and I'll tell you something, this is a game changer.
Really?
Yeah.
With Tamiya paints is absolutely unbelievable.
Just show me that bottle again, Aid. AK acrylic thinner with a white label.
Yeah, third generation it's got to be. Third
generation, man.
Gen thinner. What size bottle is that, Aid?
That's hang on. It doesn't say how much.
100 ml, 200 ml.
I think it's 250. It doesn't say how much is in here actually. No, 100 mil. Sorry, yeah, 100 milliliters. Yeah, not that expensive. It's quite reasonable.
Don't tell him the price. Don't tell him the price, Aid.
What are you saying about that, Aid? Just go on, sell the product.
No, I think it was about £4.50, something like that.
What's so good about it? What are we using it with?
But the only thing with this is you got to mix it. You can't mix it in the cup.
Never do anyway. I've never mixed paint in the cup. Fuck that.
No, I know a lot of people mix paint in the cup, and I've seen even the sort of like best of the best do it, but I never do.
In the colour cup?
Yeah, on the airbrush.
No, I don't do that.
No, I've never. I have done it every now and then, but only when I get a bit of clog and I just whack a bit of thinners in there. But
hey, there's a question on the screen for you. Has he frozen or is it everybody?
No, it's just him. I think it's just Aid.
Is it just Aid? Can we see the question there? How does the AK differ from X20A? Aid,
I've heard good things about it, Mark. That AK.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get him back on. See if he's come back on.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can use it with all sorts of brands. It's not just like, you know, obviously Aid's using it with Tamiya. You can use it with Vallejo. You can use it with Ammo Megan, Mr. Hobby, and everything. I think that's because it's so versatile that way. Like,
yeah.
But apparently it really is good anyway. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not used it, so I always use Mr. Hobby leveling thinner.
Yeah.
Back with us, Aid.
On Tamiya to do, James.
Yeah.
Aid, are you back with us?
I can hear you, but I can't. For some strange reason, I'm gonna refresh.
Okay.
All right, mate.
But the question there still stands from Dave. It's always great when we get to this part of the show. How does the AK differ from X20A? Because obviously we want to know. Is he coming back on? He's coming back on. Let me add him to the stage. Aid, can you hear us?
Yes.
How does that AK differ from X20A?
It leaves a better finish.
What thinning ratio do you use?
I use about 65, 70%.
Okay, and I'm guessing.
And then it feels very much like MRP paints when you spray it.
Really? What's the texture like?
And it's the same as MRP. And I find that if I use the Tamiya thinner, it's a little bit grainy. Sometimes it's got the same ratios. It dries a little bit grainy. But this stuff, if you give it a good, I've got some of that, but I've never used it. But
I've always used that on Tamiya.
Yeah, I was going to say
I've used that as well. Yeah, I still find it dries a little bit grainy, and this is the only thinner that I've tried. I tried it on. It was Phil Flory and Matt from PM Models that had said how good it was. I'll get a bottle of that and see what it looks like. And
I've heard good things.
It really is. It finishes that. I find that you use using that. It's got the same sort of finish as the MLP.
Yeah.
But I mean, you live and learn, don't you? I mean, it's all you can take advice from everybody, enjoy all sorts of stuff. But
you tend to overthin the Tamiya set. I always end up with more Tamiya paint than what I do when I started. After I started with it thinning, your thinning ratios. But then, like you said, I watch Phil as well, Phil Flory, and I mean, he knows he's been around for years anyway, so he knows what he's talking about. I mean, so that's the type of people that you do sort of you do watch and you do get your tips from,
I mean, it's like you say, he's been around for years. It's the same with Matt. I mean, I like watching Matt. His voice is a little bit sort of like monotony, but he's a good figure painter. And they run a shop, and they only sell stuff that they would recommend and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
who's that?
Phil
Sorry?
Flory. P&M Models.
P&M Models, yeah.
Who's Matt?
Matt Hall, I think it is, isn't it? Is it Matt Hall?
He's one of the owners, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the co-owners of P&M. Phil and Matt's Models, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
And I mean, obviously they're peddling their wares, aren't they? They're flogging stuff, but
that's what I said.
I think they're quite honest. Phil Flory, especially, is honest. That he'll say if something's shite, he'll tell you it's shite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do enjoy watching him. I've got to admit, I do enjoy watching him.
Yeah, I do, and he's a bugger for mixing in the cup.
In the cup, yeah, that's right. He's saying never mix in the cup, but he does all the time. But then he knows what he's doing.
Never cleans his airbrush.
Well, Dave's a member of the Flory family. Get on you, Dave.
Yeah.
That was just reverting back to what you can see on screen. As far as Cesco Models Live is concerned, obviously what I'm trying to do is not have any Cesco and Hemsworth model members as the banner. That is not what this page is about. This page is about the guys that live too far away, can't come. And when I saw Dave's, what is that? Is that B17? I'm not big up on my World War II birds. I actually made that the banner.
Yeah, it's a nice,
the first banner, and well deserved as well. It doesn't need to be Elite Model Productions photographed against a white background. I'm not so fussed on this page. So congratulations, Dave. I did so well done. But I will say it on the stream, absolutely spot on. And I will be looking for a new banner, certainly from January, once that one, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, has seen its day. So if you've got any more builds that you want to put onto the group page, stick them on. Let me make one into the banner. And let's get you famous on that. Okay, B17, there you go.
Oh, the little
B17. I like the livery on that B17. I like the red accents. It makes it pop.
Shall we have another look at it? Let's have another look at it. There you go.
Yeah, that's nice.
I can fill your screen with that. There you go. That was the first. Yeah, it's lovely that, mate. I'm just checking to
absolutely beautiful.
I'm just checking that those stars and bars are right way up.
Yeah, that's the first thing I looked at.
Like, phew! Thank God for that. MRP, James, mate. You don't thin it.
No,
you don't thin it. Straight into airbrush. You don't need a lot. You do not need a lot. It goes for absolutely miles. But hopefully, and even, do you know what? I think even if I made like a penny commission or something, and I'd be peddling it on like chuff, but I don't. I've got no to do with MRP. I just think it's such a cracking paint.
Yeah, I love it.
Dave says, God, I hope so. Yeah, yeah. Just like, is that one right? Yeah. Is that one right? Yeah, right. You're good to go, mate.
Hey, if you go and check on the other side and the underneath now.
Yeah. Happy days.
I remember this is a little story regarding things upside down. I remember many moons ago when I first got married. I was only 20 years old. My dad was a builder. He's not alive anymore, but he was a builder and he had a building company. And he said to me when I bought my first house, "Do you want a hand tiling the kitchen?" I said, "No, I'm going to do it myself. I'm doing it myself." He said, "I'll help you." I said, "No." Anyway, I spent a good week tiling this kitchen. Did an absolutely cracking job of it. And I was so chuffed. And I said to Dad, "Do you want to come up and look at the kitchen?" He walked through the door. He said, "That tile's upside down." Said, "You bastard. You couldn't let it go, could you?" He said, "Well, it's upside down." And it was.
And it was. Happy days.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he was.
Cool beans. I'm just going to flick through. I think it'd be a crime not to actually, even though I said I weren't going to have a look at club page, I've just swapped over and I'm just going to have a look at what our lads have been doing over Christmas as well. So, see if I can find it. Do you know what? I can remember when I used to do this all on my phone, and how times have changed.
I'm going to add a one little thing.
Sesco and Emsworth Community Skill Model Club.
Can I add one little thing about being a seasoned modeler?
You certainly can.
Build for your own satisfaction and not anybody else's.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, it's. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I struggle with that.
Yeah, but what I mean, obviously you can get advice off of people, and it's always nice to get a pat on the back when somebody says you've done a good job. But I never go out and ask for what do you think of this or this sort of stuff.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I build it, and if I think it's okay, then I'm finished with the job. But build for your own satisfaction and bollocks to what everybody thinks. Otherwise, you're just
You're going to
get shot down in flames every time.
Correct, Mundo. Dave, I'm going to answer your question. Are any of you going to Bolton this year? Yeah, we are, mate. We are. We are not showing. We're not showing, but we are going. We are going. Back to club page. Sean SGS, who said hello on the chat earlier, says for club members, for your lucky club members, 15% off all these ICM kits, and I think he's literally thrown up.
That's meant to be a really nice kit.
Look at that, man.
Whoa, have a minute here. Which one? That one?
No.
That one, yeah, definitely.
That one?
That one. Monty's, yeah, Monty's is meant to be spot on, mate. That's meant to be a really good kit. And considering what they're going through at the moment and the amount that they're producing, absolutely brilliant. Hats off to them.
Yeah, ICM is a good manufacturer.
Luckily for us, we get 15%.
I love ICM because they do some really interesting subjects.
Bronco. There you go, the Bronco. Yeah, it's a nice
I
kit.
fancy that.
Yeah.
I do fancy that. And not only do I fancy it, just look at that scheme.
Yeah, I know. It's the greys, isn't it? The 3 greys.
That's mint, that. Look at that. Oh,
that is nice.
Sean. However, the one that I really do want is this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Is that the 135th one?
Yeah, the one with the wings, the rotor span.
I hope they bring that out in 48. I really do.
I nearly bought one when it came out, and I looked at the scale of it, and I mean, I just got nowhere to put it.
No.
It's
a pity they don't do it with the rotor.
That's nice. Well, I actually had I had Tsukimora's 32nd scale and sold it to Housey, I think.
And another one. Look at this.
Yeah, they got 2. What's that?
They do some fantastic subjects, I'll tell you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
and they are really well detailed kits.
ICM is top, mate.
Yeah, they are really good.
They can be a little bit fiddly at times, but
flying pencil.
Yeah.
100% new molds on that one.
Yeah.
The flying ICM at the moment.
Screaming out for that as well.
Do you know what? Can I just interrupt there? Right. You know, earlier on when I said, have you ever put a kit down, picked it up 12 months later and thought, what on earth were I thinking? But in a lot of respects, that sort of translates to manufacturers of model kits. And the example I'm going to use is the Vulcan. That when they brought it out in the day, I'm sure that Airfix went, we've nailed it. And then 30 years later, somebody's got it down and said, let's revisit, let's have a look. And they've picked it up and tried to build it and thought, what the fucking hell were we thinking?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Nice
that's
one.
a nice kit as well.
Is that
He's
an
done
ICM?
Yeah,
No,
Bridgie's done
Zuki.
an absolute
Zuki.
job on that Tsukimura kit. Absolutely beautiful.
Tsukimura. That's nice.
It is.
Zuki from Bridgie. What's yours? The ICM catalogue. I will have to ping Sean. Oh, it's there. Look, it's actually on a link. I ought to copy that link and put it onto Sesco Models Live.
Are any of you old enough to remember the days when catalogues were free? You just picked them up in the toy store.
Yeah. And what do you mean? Look at them. We're no spring chickens, lad.
No.
I know. I was looking at the price of a Tamiya catalogue. They wanted 15 quid for a Tamiya catalogue.
Yeah.
They do now. Yeah.
Even it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Graham Cleethorpes is doing a Hobby Boss SU-27 flanker early in 1 in 48 scale.
That's going to be a big kit as well, isn't it?
That we're doing.
I got one of them in my stash.
What's Rue doing here? He's doing a bit of cockpit work, a couple of angles, seat belts. Let's zoom in.
Nice.
Yeah, doing well there, his lad.
Yeah.
Zoom
What is
back
it
out.
though? What kit is it?
I'll tell you what it is, mate. It is a 1 in 32 Revel Mustang. Office not too shabby. There you go. Graham, who's having a little bit of a dust and a clean. Let's have a look what he's got in his cabinets then. Start left to right. A frigate.
Couple of nice boats there, man.
Yeah. Something I've never
of nice boats there.
Yeah.
Couple of motorbikes and some figures.
Turpits in the Bismarck there by the look of it, mate.
Yeah, mate. Left to right in cabinet. That's an Eagle, a Phantom, a Tomcat, a Tornado, Tornado. That's a Raptor, a Lightning. What's that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what they call it. It slipped my mind.
It's not a blend.
One of those coastal. It's a coastal one, isn't it?
Halifax.
Halifax. Is it an Halifax?
Looks like.
Yeah,
might be.
Halifax.
Looks like. What's that? A little Escort?
That's a little Mark II, yeah.
Mark II Escort.
Helicopter down bottom at side of his dioramas.
Probably an artillery kit, that Escort.
Next cabinet, he's got his BMW, another bike, a diorama, and another diorama down at the bottom. Bit of a printer going off, some posters on wall, the dioramas up at top. I'll tell you what, very nice, mate.
Nice. A Terminator action going on as well.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Hang on.
Look at all them tubs above there.
I know, yeah, I was going to say, is that one of the tubs of sweets there?
Nah, diorama stuff.
Diorama stuff. What we got here? Shall we zoom in? Because you guys are... Let's start at top left. What we got?
That looks like an Abrams there to me.
That looks like an Abrams, that, doesn't it?
And then,
what's that one across? Churchill?
No, Sturmgeschütz.
No,
it's a Stug, isn't it?
Stug, yeah.
Where are you to, Mark? Sorry, mate. I'm sort of like a little bit behind. I had a problem on my phone then. Well, you got a Duster. Where the Land Rover is, you got a Duster off to the left.
Yeah.
Is that a Matilda off to the second left as well?
Yeah, the Matilda, yeah.
That one there.
Below that, it looks like an SU 122. Then he's got the T-34-85.
You got the Korean War Sherman there.
Yeah,
Oh,
with the
no,
mouse on it.
With the
Yeah,
mouse on it.
Korean. Yeah. A Panther on the end.
Yeah.
There's a
Two
Panzer
Sherman.
Haubitz down there on the left. German Panzer Haubitz 2000.
That looks like a good little collection, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
It's nice, mate.
Look at that. Still goes on. What's that?
It's a Panzer Haubitz.
Yeah.
Built that myself. I don't know. I've done the Meng one. I know Rebel do one.
What's that?
That's the Abbott, isn't it?
I don't know.
Is that the Israeli one? I can't see it.
That's the
American
M60, I think that is. The one that you got your hold on, the fourth one across.
That one.
Yeah, I'm behind you. No.
The yellowy one.
That one.
No. Hang on, mate. Hang on, I'll put my glasses on. Right, move your cursor back to the left. I'm 6 seconds behind you, mate. So you'll have to go back up, put your cursor on.
Yeah, it's on here.
Right. Stay there. Go 2 left.
1, 2.
Right, that's M60.
Ah, right.
I think that's a M48 next to it. That's a King Tiger. Tiger 1, and then you've got the Sturm Tiger off to the right.
Very good.
Yeah. Second World War German, mate. What's that one on the end? I can't quite see it. Hang on, take my glasses off. That's
King Tiger,
like
isn't
a
it?
King Tiger as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I have built a few. I built a Tiger and a King Tiger and what have you, but I've never.
Yeah,
I
nice
tend
kits.
I tend to stick to. I've just finished this for my diorama.
there you go.
That's a Churchill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Churchill with some.
Yeah,
I've
Churchill,
still got a few figures to go on top.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
Very
tanks.
nice,
Yeah, it's turned out that's a Tamiya kit, an old Tamiya kit, and it's with a little bit
Yeah,
of.
I think I hate to say it, but I think they're the only ones that do the Churchill.
No, AFB Club do Churchills as well.
I was going to say,
in many variants, to be fair, but
Oh yeah,
they do a bridge layer version which looks absolutely brilliant, which I'm after.
Yeah, I did see that online a while back. That's a nice kit, actually, even though it's old.
Oh, that's the bus. That is. Look at that finish on that bus.
Look at that.
Oh, I remember him posting this, and I was blown away with the finish of it.
Nice big 124 scale.
I'll tell you what.
MRP.
Look at that.
MRP.
That one absolutely.
I think. I don't know. I think the colour is spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vulcan Bombay.
Yeah, that's a Bombay. Did you figure out where you're going to put the rod?
Yeah, there.
Yes, you have, because there's a hole there.
Yeah.
Oh, you doing it in flight?
Yeah.
Nice.
So what I've got there, Aid, I'll just do this, and then I'll do this. What I've actually got is I've got a nut.
All right. Yeah.
That's going inside it, and then I've got and then I've got a bar with a thread on the end. The bar's obviously going through the hole into the nut that I'm going to 2-part epoxy resin into there.
Yeah.
Into that hole, and it's going in flight.
Nice.
That's supposed to be a secret.
On a jaunty angle, I hope.
On a jaunty angle, yeah.
It's a fantastic looking aircraft. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Number 2 on my list of aeroplanes. And you can probably guess what number 1 is.
Yeah, is it a Saab by any chance?
It's a Viggen.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
That is aircraft porn in my mind.
What Airfix should have done with that is they actually give you a little cutout in the instructions, and what they should have done is put a little seam line inside that intake on both the lower and upper surfaces to paint to, and then you would get the people that say, yes, but what if I'm doing the white anti-flash? Well, it's dead simple. All you'd need to do is just very carefully sand that off, and that would have got rid of all that bullshit problem about you have to put this template on and fanny about.
Mate, you can't see it. I know you're talking about it, Mark,
did
but
the original
have you got it on your screen?
Cheers, James. Thanks for that, mate.
Yeah, you're all right, mate. No worries, buddy.
Right, so can you see?
Sorry,
That's all right.
So that seam line, that tiny little seam line that I'm running my cursor across.
Yeah.
They should have put that into the intakes to paint to. And instead you have to cut out a little piece of paper from the instructions.
So, Mark, is that actually a line in the plastic?
That is, yeah. That's my line.
All right, okay.
That's my line. But what I'm saying though, Paul, is that they should have actually put that raised little detail line in there.
Yeah.
And then to paint to, and then if you are doing the anti-flash, just carefully sand it off before you put your primer down. Job done.
What have you made that line with then? Is that just a pencil line?
Yeah, mate.
It does actually look like a raised.
Yeah, it's just a pencil line. That's where I'm up to with that.
Nice.
And I think, yeah, that was just about it, really. Lyd had put some things on. Some of his builds on from last year. That would a cracker.
Yeah. 47. That's lovely.
Have we stars and bars?
Stars and bars, right?
Stars and bars.
I'm there.
Roundels.
Can you get the roundels upside down?
Roundels are fucking the wrong way around.
No, even. we have an ex-member that used to come out with that joke, and God above, it's tired and dated. Yeah, some of Lyd's work. That is absolutely fucking huge.
That hustler is absolutely beautiful. You try and grab hold of that hustler. Try and grab hold of it on eBay, mate. You'd be paying like 600 quid for it. Unbelievable.
No. Oh.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's worth a lot of money.
Tidy. I did change the banner leading up to Christmas for so many more sleeps. And I think that is just about it. Oh, now then. Come on.
That's nice.
Yeah.
One of the hardest dioramas you can do is winter dioramas with snow and stuff. It's really hard to get right.
Yeah.
Fantastic, that.
Yeah, it looks the part, doesn't it?
That's the kind of thing, Aid, that I put onto Elite Model Productions. Clear background, superb model, flawless, literally in every aspect that my untrained eye can see. But that's what goes on there, mate.
That is really difficult to do, snow. I've done a couple of dioramas with snow, and they turned out all right. But there's room for improvement, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of product out there that you can do decent snow dios with, but
AK got quite a substantial array, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Of products.
You all have, haven't they? Meg, fucking ammo, Vallejo, you all have.
Yeah.
I use I got a product which is called Precision Ice and Snow, which you buy it in a kit, and it comes with all the little shaker and all the powders, and you can do ice and all sorts of stuff, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, let's get everybody on the screen. So, what we're 2 hours and 9 minutes again.
Yeah, it just flies by, mate, doesn't it?
Most enjoyable.
I'm going to have this thing, and then I'm off for a cup of tea because I'm chuffing frozen. What's right? Let's wrap it up. Season builder, we've had a good laugh about that. What are you building? What are you on with now? Let's start bottom left. Paul, what are you doing?
Well, I'm on with, I'm sure it's box art.
Box art.
It's a Chinese sort of armored vehicle.
Yeah.
Cool.
Body is, the chassis is like mashed up, ready for the third layer of paint.
Yeah.
Turret mashed up, ready for the. No, needs to be mashed up. Needs to be mashed up, ready for the third colour. Very enjoyable kit. I mean, I'm liking it. It's sort of like it's going to be my first kit from the new shed. So yeah,
James, what you doing? What you on with?
Well, I've still got the Puma to finish off. I've got my little 250, my little 251 that I broke the door off. I broke the indicator, the
season
indicators off.
Season modeler.
Season builder. Yeah, I know.
What's in
with
the spray
Phantom
booth there?
That's the Phantom in the spray booth.
I'll tell you what, let's just see if I can, wrong one. Let's get that one on, make that big. Okay, so, and I sent you a load of pictures last night, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah. Hang on. Oh, let's try not to drop it, yeah.
Don't drop the bleeding thing, for Christ's sake.
No, it's
a big old bird, isn't it?
It is,
yeah,
mate.
Massive.
It is. Just a nose to do. That's where I was holding it yesterday.
Yeah, mate.
But the light, this I can't recommend this light enough. We picked it up at Telford year before last, not last year. Not this one gone, but last year. Yeah, I picked it up at Telford. I've had it sat down on my floor here for 14 months, good 14 months. And yeah, I've because of what's happened personally, I've had a few problems, as Mark and Paul well know. Yeah, it's been really hard to get out here at the moment. But the wife
has that got all to do with your transgenderism?
Yeah, the trans. yeah, that's that operation. Yeah, it's gone well. But yeah, it's I've not had a chance.
Sitting there looking in stunned silence. What the fuck's going on?
I'm just wondering whether they stuck it on with Tamiya Super Thin or not.
No, we're not it.
Aidy, what's going on? Aidy, what's going on? Or what's on the bench? What's happening?
Well, I got that Churchill I've just shown you. I'm doing a dio for it, so I've built the front of
hold it there.
All scratch built out of foam and balsa. And I bought myself a Proxim foam cutter, did my own tiles, did my own cardboard roof out of corrugated cardboard.
Yeah.
Get that.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's all made out of blue foam. And I've got the base. I've got the base sort of like sorted out, and that's where the building's going to go, with the blue foam.
Yeah, brilliant, man.
So I've just got to get all my grass and everything sorted out, and I've probably got another week or so's work, but I'm really chuffed with the way it came out, actually, the stonework and everything. So
Cool.
I
Looks
took a
really
lot of
good.
advice from online, like Night Shift and CM Models. They do a lot of diorama stuff, and they're absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, Night Shift's really good.
Oh, just outrageous!
Yeah.
Some of the
Nice
stuff he
comment
does.
there from Dave.
Yeah, that's another level 8. I was just about to say that.
Oh, cheers, Dave. That's very kind. I'm chuffed with it. It's turned out really nice, and the foam cutter was an absolute godsend. I bought it. I've got so many ideas buzzing round up here. Just, when you get something new, a new tool or something like that, you think, well, I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do this and that. And
Yeah.
Cool beans. Right. I'm going to wrap it up. What time is it? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Aid, lovely having your company tonight, mate.
Enjoyed it extremely, very much indeed. It's been fantastic.
Good stuff. You can consider yourself, from the points that you've scored, a seasoned builder from us.
What? Because I fuck up all the time? Is that what you mean?
Hey, look, you've only got to look at the banner scrolling across the bottom. You're not a seasoned master builder until you're fucked up royally.
Yeah.
Tidy. Aid, thanks for your company, mate, and we shall catch you later, dude.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers,
mate. Happy New Year to you all.
You too, mate. Thank you very much.
All the best, Aid.
All the best. Cheers.
Okay, so Aid gone. James, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Always a pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure.
We've spoken obviously earlier on in the night. Keep doing what you're doing. That MRP, I literally wished I could be there at side of you while you're doing it, while you're using it, and I'm hoping it's going to be a game changer for you, mate.
Yeah. I've still got a few bits and bobs to do. I've still got the canopy to sort out. I should have sorted that out ages ago, but yeah, that's all got to be masked up and stuck on and sprayed. But yeah, I'll get there in a minute.
Cool. Okay, stay where you are, mate. Stay where you are, and we shall catch up in a second. Paulio, late to the show, but your missus has been away. She's back now to look after you.
Yeah. That's a fair statement.
Yeah, it's a fair statement, but you've had a couple of days. Nice to see you back at the bench fully. You enjoying it, mate? Have you enjoyed the stream?
Oh, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Love it every time, Mark. Love it.
Every time. Stay where you are, love. I'll be back to you in a minute. Thank you very much. So I have put the two lads just in the background because I do obviously like to wrap up myself. Last comment from Dave. Good night. It's been brilliant. You are welcome. Mate, you've got to remember, for the people who are watching now and the people who are going to watch it in segments, because obviously I can appreciate it's over 2 hours. It'll be over 2 hours and 20 minutes long. We basically make it up as we go along, like everybody else does. We haven't got a script, although we do try to encompass some kind of topic along the way for everybody to get involved in. The Airfix Vulcan. So when I started this and I watched some of the videos on it, the first thing that I'd noticed that were going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass were these intakes. And for some reason now, I didn't glue that. Oh, I did glue it on. Chuff me, I'm trying to snap it off and I glued it on. It was the intakes there, and I noticed that were going to be a bit of a problem. So to fit those, I had to build the entire inner structure, and while I'm there, I've got white paint in my colour cup. I might as well black base that and paint it. And then I've popped the upper wing on like so, just to get a little visual representation of what's going off. So that's where I'm up to with that. I can't put that wing on yet because I haven't got the two-part epoxy resiny putty stuff to put the nut in that I showed you earlier. The other side of the air intakes is masked and ready for the grey and green. Once that's built, I will put that in, put the nut in, stick the top on, and then I can crack on with all the canopy and one thing another. Tonight's topic of conversation: you're not a seasoned master builder until you've fucked up royally. We've all done it, and I think I'm right in saying that you literally do have to fall down along the way to be able to learn on what mistakes you won't make next time, if that makes sense. And I'm no pro by a long stretch, but you'd have to agree that while ever you are making mistakes, putting decals on upside down, fitting parts that should go on this side onto that side, putting bits on that you know that you're going to knock off, but you still do it anyway. All those little trip ups that we all do down the line as we're getting better and better and better to satisfy ourselves make you into the seasoned builder. Okay. We've got club next week, Saturday. I think it's the 4th of January, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm back to work on Thursday, but I'm going to spend some more time on that. And I'm going to spend some more time chatting with these lads that I have put into the green room. Dave says good night all. It's been brilliant. Thanks for tuning in. And Pete says really enjoyed that. Cheers, mate. Like I said, we make it up as we go along. We chat bollocks. This is what me, Paul, and James do literally every night. Obviously not on StreamYard. We do it on Facebook Messenger. But we're always ripping each other, and we're always, have you seen this? And I've done this and one thing or other. And it makes the hobby really, really enjoyable. Okay, so we'll call it today. Where's my button that says end live stream? There it is. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. My next personal video will be on the Vulcan, even though there's hundreds out there already. Once I've finished building it, I will come on and chat about that. In the meantime, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.